What's up, guys? It's Daniel Alkoff here from the Intercollegiate representing UCR. I got second in the 3v3 with my teammates Will and Ash. Shout out to them.
Yep.
And this is my Tearlament deck profile. I did pretty well with it. I went X2 in Swiss. One of those losses, I blame Karan for making a cut in my extra deck, and I couldn't out an IP Avermax because of it. And the other time I got winter cherries, so that happens. But otherwise, I think it performed really well, and yeah, I'm proud of how it did. So, let's start off non-negotiable: 3 Rhino Heart, 3 Sharon, 3 Merrily, and 3 Havness. Yeah, you just want to hit as many names as possible. I wouldn't change this ever. Yeah, you just want to maximize the likelihood of you hitting your tiers.
Yeah. You would only change if they get limited, right?
Yeah, only if the ban list hit them ever, which might happen, but we'll see.
Come on, it's a tier 5
Give it a
deck.
few months.
And then I played Brandon High Spirits package. I played the Cartesia because you go to crazy combo to make Baron de Fleur, and you just get like so many negates, they just can't play.
The Cartesia is also crazy card advantage.
Yeah, it's just, this adds back to your hand every turn. It's really good in the grind game. Makes your turn 1 board fucking crazy. It's a really good card. And then the Albion, just so your Brandon High Spirits isn't dead after you use the Cartesia. Yeah, and it's not bad to draw either of them either. They're not bad. And then I played 6 Bestials, 3 Magnamut, 2 Druid Worm, and 1 Saronir.
Yeah.
I included 6. I was originally going to go for 4, but the hardest matchup is the Tier Mirror, which I only played once, and I actually didn't see any of these at all in the mirror. You just want to see as many Bestials as possible in the mirror. Like, literally in the mirror is just like whoever sees this and like as the most and makes Dweller first wins.
Yeah.
So these cards are just really good in the mirror because your cards matchups in the mirror. So yeah,
It was great. Unfortunately, we didn't face that many tier players.
Yeah. Well, I played. They were pretty useful in my opinion. I would keep them. And then the 1 Scream. I would play 2. I just don't have space. Realistically, I don't want to go to 41. But yeah, just the 1 Scream. You have to play at least 1. Because you wanna be able to search the trap. But I would bump it to 2 if I had space, but I don't know what I would cut really. And then the 1 of Cyberstein. This card's funny. It's very funny.
It is.
This card, I made it a last minute change and to include this in my deck, and it went fucking crazy. This card is so good. I resolved this like 4 times during the Intercollegiate, and it won me the game every time.
And
We have a funny card in the side deck to make with this, but normally you just treat it as another copy of Instant Fusion that takes your normal summon.
Yeah, because you don't have that many normal summons in the deck, so it kind of makes sense.
it's mainly just Rhino Heart, to be honest.
Sometimes Merly if you're desperate.
Yeah, Merly if you're desperate, but I'd rather just summon this and then turbo out the Kick Colossus, and then you get combo that way.
It's also 2, which is relevant because you can make Elf.
Yeah, you can make Elf. If you mill this and you have a Merly on your board, you can make Elf and summon back the Cyberstein as well.
It's kind of crazy.
It's pretty good. And then 2 Talents. Just generic good card. A lot of people like to play on your turn, interrupt you. Valor on the Kick Colossus and stuff. Bestials on your tier names. This card's just pretty good this format. It did win me a few games seeing this card. Just having the Confiscation to rip 1. Or to take. This card went crazy in the Dragon Link matchup. I played the 1 Dragon Link player like twice. Once in the finals and once in Swiss, and this card put in so much work both times because it's a little difficult to out Borland.
It is a little.
But that card went crazy, and another time I used it to rip a Bestial that I knew he had out of his hand, so I could play the game, and it was just really good. Instant Fusion. Broken.
Of course.
I don't need to say anything.
You have to play it. You have to play it.
It's just a 1 card turbo combo. And then Terraforming. 3 field spell, non-negotiable.
Of course.
And then I played the 1 of Mystic Mind.
Fuck this card. Fuck this card.
It's
Fuck
a funny
this card.
card. I know you hate it. 'Cause
I hate this
you
card.
lost to it.
I lost to this card by 150. Like, I'll talk more about it later, but I
Yeah.
hate this fucking card.
I find myself citing this out a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
I played a lot of decks that just had like natural outs to it.
Yeah.
Like I played like the Bestial Dragon Link. They have like the trap card. I played against like Runic Sprite. It's like they want to be undermined.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This card's just it's okay.
It's not bad. It's not great.
I wouldn't remove it, but because you kind of have to play it. But
Yeah.
like you just like make people respect it. But it's alright. It's not
I
a
think
bad
everybody
card.
is respecting Mystic Mind.
They are, yeah, and you have to make them respect it.
Yeah.
It didn't come up that much, but it's like whatever, you know. And then,
But I know that's like your favorite card. So.
it's a funny card. I like that
Yes.
card. And then Droplet, just generic going second card. You need this card because Dweller is absolutely nuts against your deck.
So crazy.
So you need to play this. And this card is also an out to a lot of things. Like if they make something that's like big and can't be targeted and can't be destroyed, like IP Avermax, this is literally your only out, aside from like talents maybe.
You also out a Dragoon with this.
Yeah, I
do
played
that.
against like a Dragoon Turbo player, and I dropletted him, and it was like just crazy because it turned off his whole board. Yeah, this card, I love this card. It's so nice. I would definitely keep it in the main. It did a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then for trap lineup, I did 2 Sulic and
Great
1
card.
Crime. I was thinking about citing the Crime, but Crime in the main just did a lot. It came up a lot. This card is really good with the inclusion of Scream, because you can just if you get a good mill, you can end on both of these. But yeah, it's just this card is so good. It's especially with the Brand High Spirits engine, because Cartesia is adding back to your hand like every turn. So your Cartesia is just fodder for this card, and like you don't go minus at all. You don't care about the cost of this card. It's just really good. And then 2 Sulic, just because 1's not enough, 3 is too bricky. Just play 2. You want to mill 1 and end on 1.
Yeah.
It's good. I side both of these out going second and leave 1 Sulic in for mills. And then I played 1 high rate draw, just because it's a Mystic Mine out. I need an out to Mystic Mine. And then
also triggers tier effects.
yeah, it triggers tier effects. So like the reasoning for this over Galaxy Cyclone is like Galaxy Cyclone's a dead card going first, and when you're playing the game, you know, good players are gonna side out Mystic Mine when they're going first, just because it's a dead card going first. So you're only getting a Mystic Mine when you're going first, and this card is good when you're going first because it's another interruption. So seeing this card in your hand is not bad, whereas Galaxy Cyclone is, because that card sucks and it does nothing. This, at least you set it, and then it goes crazy.
Also, if you mill it, it also goes crazy.
Yeah, and if you mill it, it also goes crazy. In my feature match, I opened this, and I made Rukalos and set 2 pass, and it looked like shit, and then this card went fucking crazy, and I just made 10 million interruptions, and the guy couldn't play. It was really good. This card is way better than Galaxy Cyclone. You should play it. And so that's 40 in the main deck. And then for the extra deck, playing 2 Kikalos. Yeah, just play 2. I was thinking about cutting 1, but it's just nice to have 2.
I think 2 is fine. Yeah.
It's just nice to have 2. I might cut 1 if I need to, but
Yeah. Maybe next format, right?
yeah, I don't know. It's just if 1 gets banished, like it's not a big deal if you're only playing 1, but like it's just nice to have the second. Yeah, it's all right.
That's all right.
But yeah, that card's really good. And then I play 2 Rukalos. You need to play. Normally people play 1. Yeah, but with Brandon High Spirits, you kind of need to play 2. The second one came up a good bit.
It came up for me once, and I wasn't playing it.
It came up for me like 3 times, I think, the whole tournament, like 2 or 3 times. It's just nice to have the second one. You know, it's just like Brand High Spirits, like it's a good card because it adds back to your hand every turn. But if you're playing 1, it's just you're adding back a dead card. You're sitting on the Rukalos on your board, and it's just you're adding back a dead card. I don't like adding cards to my hand if they're bricks. There's no point. So Yeah, just play 2. So the Brand High Spirits is always live. And it's really crazy in the grind game too, having your Brand High Spirits always live. And then Kaleido Heart.
Of course.
Just play 1. It's a good card.
Yeah.
I made this like a few times.
Yeah.
It didn't come up that often, but you just mostly go Root Kalos. But and then Dragon Sepelia, I played 2. I cut a Beatrice last minute for this, for the second one, and it came up like once, but the Beatrice never would have come up at all. So I like this card at 2. It's just nice to have 2 because you need to win in the grind game. This format's really grindy, so having 2 in the grind game is really broken. You can get away with probably 1, but when you go really grindy, 2 is really, really nice to have. You will love that you were playing 2 in the grind game. And then Garura, Mud Dragon, just generic fusions to make with your tiers.
This card is so broken.
Yeah, super poly target is just really good.
Draws 1.
This card
does everything.
This card won me so many games with super poly and also just making them off of fusions. It's just really good. These cards are so
really
good. Dark MVP of the deck. It was definitely MVP of the day. I made this card so many times. This came up every single game, and most of the time it just won me the game. There was one game where I should have lost, and I pulled it out of my ass by I made Dark and I took his IP, and then I made Sprite Sprint on his turn, and I won me the game. It was very funny.
That's crazy.
And yeah, this card's just crazy. You should play him 100%. He's mandatory. And then Sprint.
Dump some early.
We dump some early. This card is pretty good if you brick, and also it's just nice to have. This came up like 2 or 3 times. It didn't come up that often, but it's just a nice card to have. It's good. And then Elf. This card came up a lot actually. This card's really good. You should play it. You play a good 2. No reason not to play it. Sprite cards are broken with the Tearlament cards because Merely it's a 2.
Sprite cards are broken.
Dweller, mandatory for the mirror, non-negotiable. You have to play this card. Whoever makes this card first in the mirror wins.
Yeah.
It's just a good card. You have to play it. And Redoer. Some people are cutting this card. I disagree. This card's broken. Some people are playing like Baguska and stuff over this card. Like mainly this card is for when you get shifted. And people like to play Baguska when they get shifted, and that feels kind of just like very reactive instead of like proactive. This card like actually does stuff instead of Baguska where you just try to like hopefully skip a turn, and if it doesn't work out then you lose. This one you can at least play on their turn. Also, this card is nice to just make another interruption for when you make the Dweller, like you don't. Or when you end on Rukalos, you don't want to end on Dweller as well because you're leaving yourself open to Super Poly because you have 2 waters on the board. So a lot of the time I just like to make the Redoer instead. And it won me a few games making the Redoer instead. Yeah, this card's just cracked. I would not cut this. It's really good. And then lastly, Baron de Fleur. This is for the combo with Cartesia because Cartesia's a level 4 tuner. And in your combo, you can easily make a Garura and just Synchro 10 and make a Baron de Fleur, and you get to draw 1 off the Garura. It's cracked. And the Cartesia adds back to your hand, so you're actually not losing any advantage, and you pretty much just get a free Baron.
The Bestials are also 6s, so that also lets you sync in the
Yeah, I was going to mention that. The Bestials, like, if you get a bad hand, you can just make the Cartesia. You just normal the Cartesia and then summon a Bisted and make this, and it's not bad. This card came up, like, a good amount. Yeah. I would keep it for sure. We'll see in the upcoming format. But that's the extra deck. And then for the side, we have 3 Spooky Dogwood. Gotta win in time. You know how it is.
We do know how it is.
Yeah, you know how it is. This card is also really good in the mirror because it's just like a maxi, pretty much. They don't want to give you 30,000 life points when they know that every tier mirror goes into time. Let's be real. Every tier mirror goes into time. And this card is stupid. It's a good card. And then going first, Scattershot. You can dump this off a sprint and you win in time. So yeah, these are my time cards.
Yeah.
I have to play them. Gotta win in time. And then we're playing 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Just to respect back row. You kind of lose to Floodgates like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, stuff like that. I was thinking about playing Heartbeats, but I'm iffy on that card. I don't know. I'm 50-50 between this and Heartbeat, but this card came up like once, but it saved my ass. It's alright. You just have to play back row here in this format, I feel like, because back row can be a little strong sometimes. especially
Cosmic
against
hits
your
like
deck.
every deck, so like I think it's decent.
Yeah, it's good. And then Skill Drain. This is going first card, Floodgate. This is like the only Floodgate you can actually play. It's okay. I mean, it just didn't really come up for me at all. It came up for me once, and it didn't really help that much. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I'd play it again. It's just an iffy card. I don't know. I just didn't really ever see it, to be honest. I'll be real. Also, I was 2-0ing a lot of people. I went kind of crazy. So I never really got to set it in, but it's alright. It's an alright card. It wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was just alright. Maybe if I saw it more. And then we're gonna play the Exterio. So you side this in, going first, and also against like back row decks, like I don't know, like Labyrinth, Eldritch, Runic Spray.
A bunch of decks.
Yeah, this card is also really you just sided in against everything going first because this card's broken. It just turns off all their spells and traps. They need like Dark Ruler or something to get rid of this, and you have Crime Set most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's just stupid.
Sometimes it's Crime and a Baron.
And you can just end on like Crime, Baron, this, Rukalos, and like what can they do? They can't do anything.
It's a ridiculous card. It's a ridiculous card.
Yeah, I made this card against Runic Spray, and the guy just insta-scooped. It was very funny. I only made this card once, but it won me the game, so I don't know. I don't know whether I'd play it again, but it was alright. It wasn't that bad. And then Super Poly, broken card. I was thinking about maining it, but I was advised not to and just side it instead. And I kind of agree with it, I guess. I don't know. There were some games where I would have liked to see the Super Poly game won, but it was alright in the side. It wasn't bad. There's not a lot of side deck cards I would play over it either, so yeah, Super Poly is cool. This card's cracked. It won me a lot of games, but I don't know whether I made it or decided it, but definitely keep it in the deck for sure. And then one Change of Heart, one Mind Control. They do the same thing. Change of Heart is just better Mind Control. Just Snatch Steal in this format's really good because, like, Tier doesn't really have a lot of answers if you just like take their one tier name, like Rukalos or something, and just snatch it and then use it to play your game instead. Because it turns off their back row and you just like play with their tier name. It's just really good. And yeah, it's these cards were crazy for me today, I think. I saw the Change of Heart a good bit, and it won me a lot of games, but yeah. I'm kind of happy with the side deck. I don't know, maybe I'll cut the Exterio or something. But overall, I'm happy with how the deck performed. There were some choices that were like really good that Karan suggested that I would make. Shout out to our sponsors, TCG and all the boys at Karan and stuff that
the top choice gaming.
let us borrow their cards. Some of their choices were a little copium, like the Beatrice, and I'm glad I cut that. And they were also telling me to play one Rukalos, which was wrong. I'm glad I played the second Rukalos. Also, I cut an Underworld Goddess, which I deeply regret. I'm putting that back in my deck. I'm not sure what I would cut, but maybe like a Dragon Spelia or something. I don't know. But I'm putting an Underworld Goddess back in my deck. Kind of have to play it. It came up a lot this tournament. But overall, I'm happy with our performance.
Any other shout-outs before we end the deck profile?
I already shouted out TCG, Karan. Shout out to the boys at UCR cheering us on at the finals and stuff. And shout out to everybody who attended the tournament. I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. People were friendly. You know, it was cool.
Awesome. All right.